You are now watching Fourth and Inches.
All right, y'all, welcome back, man. Fourth and Inches, it's your boy Nick. And today, finally, at long last, I have Mr. Rodriguez Moore with me.
Yes, sir, man. Good to be back, man. Good to be back.
All right, so let me catch you up. What you done missed? Let's see, I did a quick recap in the first episode. Second episode was really me speaking on the ACC. And you said you had some news on the ACC. So go on and speak on it.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I get my facts and stuff right. But the Big Ten, they trying to get Florida State, and Miami to join their conference.
For real?
Yeah, they trying to get Notre Dame, Oregon, Washington, Stanford, Cal, Miami, and Florida State to join them.
Man, it really finna be two conferences then, because like I know, the SEC ain't just gonna allow that to happen. And Florida State, Clemson, Miami, and North Carolina was already supposedly in the background of things, trying to negotiate their way out of the ACC deal so they could try to join the SEC.
You said who trying to join it?
Florida State, Clemson, Miami, and North Carolina.
They all want to join the SEC.
They all trying to join the SEC. At least that's the rumor. I don't know how true none of it is. That's the rumor. So if the SEC find out, well, I ain't gonna say they find out because clearly it's out there. But the SEC just not gonna allow the Big Ten to snatch everybody up without them at least trying. And they could pull Clemson easy. They could pull Florida State easy. North Carolina too.
SEC?
Yeah. Like it will make so much more sense for them schools to join the SEC versus them joining the Big Ten.
Why you say that?
Number one,
because the SEC is right here in the South.
Yeah, you keep all your rivalries intact, and you know what I'm saying. You basically corner this entire market. Like if you join the Big Ten, like okay, how you gonna have Miami playing a home game in LA?
That's how you think it'll be. Think they'll try to have a mutual field for them?
No, because we're in the conference together. That means just like UCLA and USC gonna have to come to Miami, come to Tallahassee. They're gonna have to go to Rutgers, Maryland. Like that's literally coast to coast games. Which I mean, some people might appeal to some people, but why do that when I can just join the SEC, which is already the number one conference, and it's already in my back door. They already getting all the recruits that I can't get because they in the SEC. Like if you Miami and you join the SEC, how many more of them kids you think gonna stay home? Because now you in the SEC and you Miami.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't think it'd be so much as the conference. You know what I'm saying? Rather Miami in the SEC or the ACC, because if they go to the SEC, it's definitely gonna be hard for them to win.
True, it's gonna be hard for them to win, but they already ain't winning. So
you're right. So but if I'm going to the SEC program, that's like everybody deciding to go to Vanderbilt. You know what I'm saying?
See. So okay. I look at it like this. Right? I look at Miami joining the SEC would be like A&M joining the SEC. Like A&M was nothing. Like they was nothing for real. But then they joined the SEC, and all of a sudden, they're a national brand. Like they've been the brand that's in the news in the top 10, top 15, where Texas ain't been that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's called the recruiting. Because you all right, look at it like this from this perspective. All right,
that was the benefit. That's what I'm saying.
Look at Missouri. They joined the SEC, and you don't even hardly hear nobody mention Missouri. They ain't making no noise.
Yeah, but
they did the first couple years. When they first got there, They competed, but the first couple of years they was gonna compete like that for the simple fact they in a new conference. They want to try to go ahead and make a name for themselves. They feel like they playing better opponents. You know what I'm saying? Which they was, but I feel like they playing better opponents. So that's their time to get out there and give it their all to try to shine. But after them first 2 years, they really been quiet.
And first of all, they had good teams, and they got kind of lucky though. But they had good teams too. But like, see, Missouri is its own thing. Like I look at Missouri kind of like Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? Before Mark Stoops got to Kentucky was good here and there. They wasn't that team like that because their recruiting base ain't like that. Whereas the A&M is just like Miami. Like your recruiting base is one of the biggest in the country. There's no reason for you to be sorry consecutively. You know what I'm saying? Like that. There's no reason. It'd be like if Georgia was sorry all the time.
I'm gonna use Miami and say this, and you probably won't agree with it, but I think this plays a big factor in it too. The fact that a lot of them boys in Miami, this Miami we talking about, a lot of them boys coming out of school want to get away from Miami because of so much stuff that be going on in Miami.
Okay, that's definitely true for some. So I look at it like this. I look at it and say it's like 50-50. So like half of them want to leave the city of Miami because it's kind of wild, and then half of them want to stay because it's home. So if you look at it like that,
you feel like they stay. If Miami joined the SEC, that'll keep more of them home.
Yeah, absolutely. I ain't saying that everybody stay home, but you won't have like your top 10 Miami area recruits and have 8 of them go to Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State. Like you wouldn't have that. You would have 6 or 7 of them stay home.
I don't think so because of the simple fact the ones who leaving to get away from there just because they joined the SEC. Why stay there? And I know what's going on around here. A bunch of stuff going on.
Because all of them ain't leaving for that reason.
I can join another SEC team and be in the same conference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but all of them ain't leaving for that reason though. A lot of them leave. But like, okay, so let me think of somebody. Okay, you know who Tyreek Stevenson is?
Tyreek Stevenson?
Yeah, he was basically a nickelback at Georgia.
Okay.
When all them boys went to NFL, not last year before last, Eric Stokes, Tyson Campbell, Mark Webb, Richard LeCount, like all them left.
He went back. That's the one that went back to Miami, right?
He went back to Miami. So somebody like him, he probably would have never left Miami had Miami been in the SEC, because they would have been in a better situation, if that makes sense. I ain't saying everybody's like him. I just use him because he's somebody I know.
So did he start at Georgia?
He would have been starting. Like, he was already in the rotation. But that next year when he transferred to Miami, he was the starter. He was going to be the starter already.
Exactly. So that's why he went back home, was so that he could start.
He was going to start already.
But when he first went to Georgia, he wasn't starting, right? So now it's like, okay, he can start. He can start now that all them boys gone. But
he would have got a ring too.
Yeah, he would have got one. But if he can go home and start for his home team, you know what I'm saying? After he done got him some stats and stuff up, done got his feet wet, he can go home and play for him and not have to worry about trying to compete for the starting job, because he pretty much guaranteed the starting job there.
He was guaranteed the starting job in Georgia.
Yeah, once the ones in front of him left.
If that's the case, then you ain't gonna go nowhere, because you ain't never guaranteed no starting job. Not as a freshman. Nope.
Not yet. I won't say guaranteed.
You might be guaranteed a chance to compete for it, but you're not gonna. Ain't nobody just gonna give you the starting job because you're a freshman. Like, no, that is not how life works.
I think it depend on the program you go to and what they got going on at that program.
Well, yeah, ain't no good program gonna guarantee you no starting job as a freshman, because there's gonna be too many other good players in front of you.
That's possible. It's possible. Like I say, it depends on where you go.
Okay, so I look at Quinn Ewers then. Like Quinn Ewers.
Look at Georgia. Look at Georgia and look at Alabama. Both of them in that championship game, what that was 2018 had
2017.
2017 had two goddamn true freshmen
Mhm.
starting that quarterback.
Neither one of them started the season.
No, they ain't start the season as starters.
So
But what I'm saying is, as a true freshman, you was able to start at some point in that season. You was able to start and be named the starter of the offense or whatever position they, you know what I'm saying, playing.
only one of them was named the starter, by the way, that season. That was Jay Fromm. Tua didn't start a game. Not named. Not one.
Nah, but he finished it for sure.
He did that. But so the only reason Jake Fromm got a start is because Jacob Eason was hurt. He missed like 6 games out hurt.
Yeah, but even when he was able to come back, he still didn't start.
Nah.
So he went to Washington, which was his home state.
Right.
And then like Jalen Hurts, he didn't start. The first game of the season when he played was the only game that he didn't start as a true freshman at quarterback.
I thought he did start that game.
Nah, Blake Barnett started and he was messing up. So they put Jalen in. And when Jalen started, his first play of the game, he fumbled and lost it. But they kept him in and stuck with him. And you know how that game turned out against USC. We beat them boy like 52-6, something like that.
Yeah.
And from that point on, as a true freshman, he started every single game after that.
The funny thing, bro, I remember the game. I don't even remember Blake Barnett starting.
Yeah, Blake Barnett started. And once he lost his job to Jalen Hurts, he stayed there for probably like midway through the season, and then he decided to transfer. I think he went to like a smaller school like Louisiana Monroe, something about like that.
I don't blame him, you know, because
New Mexico State, something like that. He went to one of them little smaller schools like that.
Don't nobody want to go to school, lift all them weights, do all them sprints, do all them practices to never play. Like, nobody wants to do that, ever. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how much you love that school. Don't nobody want to do all that.
No,
but, you know,
nobody want.
It is what it is, though. You know what I mean? I'm counting but one quarterback play at a time.
Well, sometimes.
I mean,
some people try to implement a system to where they can have both quarterbacks. I ain't gonna say a system, but a couple of plays where both on the field at the same time.
So to me, that only works if both of them is real good athletes. Because if they not, then that means one of them is just out here taking up space. I'm just keeping it real. It's like running a wildcat, and you put your quarterback out there receiver.
That's what we did with Jalen Hurts and Tua, and Tua threw Jalen Hurts the ball.
You feel like Jalen Hurts is a tremendous athlete, though. He not just a body out here. Like, he get the ball in his hand, he can make a play with it.
Yeah.
Now, if you put a Tua out there receiver, he's not a threat. He's not a threat. No,
he may not be as a receiver, but at the same time, he got no legs too now.
He not a threat. Anyway, we've both been talking about the SEC. You know what I'm saying? Previewing the SEC. So let's start like this. We already know who at the top is. Georgia, Alabama, Georgia, however you want to say it. So we're going to save them for last. We're going to come back to them. Outside of those two, who do you feel can challenge? Matter of fact, let's do it this way. Who do you feel can challenge Georgia in the East? And I'll say who I feel like can challenge Alabama in the West.
It's easy to say who will in the West. But as far as the East go, I think South Carolina gonna be a sleeper team, and Kentucky. But at the same time, Tennessee as well. Though I put Tennessee in front of Kentucky. I say South Carolina or Tennessee can challenge Georgia in the East.
Yo, I be seeing a lot of hype for Tennessee. Like, it's a lot of people who do this for a living that like get paid real money to do this stuff, and they feel like Tennessee is going to beat Georgia. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't see it. Like, I cannot see it.
Man, you're a Georgia fan, so of course you ain't gonna see it.
No, no, because I feel like Kentucky and South Carolina have a much better chance of upsetting Georgia than Tennessee does.
You said Kentucky?
Yeah,
South Carolina?
I could see a scenario where Kentucky can upset Georgia. I could see a scenario where South Carolina can upset Georgia. I can't see it with Tennessee.
Why? Cause y'all got them at home this year?
No, it ain't even that. It's just the style of play.
No, y'all got them on the road, right? They
Nope.
came to Georgia last year.
Nope. Went to Knoxville last year.
Oh, okay. Well, that might be, one of the things that help y'all.
So this is the thing, right? Everybody look at the Tennessee game and say, oh, well, Tennessee, they was able to score points early, but they couldn't sustain it. Well, they couldn't sustain it because Georgia defense played what Georgia defense normally do, and they didn't do that at first. Like, they came out the game, and they weren't aggressive at all. They were just sitting back in the zone and got picked apart, which you're supposed to get when you just sit back in the zone. When they started playing pressure, it was nothing. Like, Tennessee is not a threat to run the ball. All they have is a passing game. Their defense ain't good. So, your defense ain't good.
Their defense ain't good, but it ain't terrible. It's decent.
It's not good.
I just want to say it's not good, but it ain't terrible. It's decent.
With the type of offense they have.
I think their defense is good enough to keep them around. I ain't gonna say to make them win the game, but it can keep them around.
They have trouble stopping the run.
It depends on what style offense they facing.
They have trouble stopping the run. And if you have trouble stopping the run against a team like Georgia, you don't have a chance. Especially when your offense is one-dimensional. You ain't got no chance. That's why I say a team like Kentucky and South Carolina, because both of them, their defense is decent. Not great. Like, Kentucky defense is pretty good every year. But both of their defenses is decent, and they can stop the run enough. And their offenses can do both pass and run the ball. So they balance enough where you can't just key on one thing. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like, Kentucky had the SEC leading rusher last year. I want to say his name is Chris Rodriguez. I hope I ain't saying it wrong. But
you know why they had? I ain't gonna say all of why, but a big portion of that is because they also won the offensive line award in the nation last year.
And they got most of that line back too.
Yeah, but their offensive line coach is at Alabama coaching our offensive line now.
Can't help that. Them boys still there.
Yeah, some of them.
So I don't feel like they gonna drop off much at all. And I look for their quarterback to actually be better than he was last year. And he got, as the season went on, he got better. Like, toward the end of the season, he was looking real, real good. But we'll see how it play out though. As far as the West, everybody gonna pick A&M. I'm not picking A&M. I don't think A&M is going to be what people believe they're going to be. Not this year anyway. They don't have a quarterback that I believe in because they don't have a quarterback that they believe in. You know what I mean? Like, the guy that beat Alabama last year, Zach Calzada, he at Auburn now. The dude Zach Calzada was the quarterback when they. Yeah, he at Auburn now. So the dude that was starting, that was supposed to be, well, I ain't gonna say supposed to be, he was starting, then he broke his leg against Colorado. They talking about he probably ain't even gonna be the starter. They got this other dude that's gonna be started that transferred in from LSU, Max Johnson. So they don't even know who they gonna start at quarterback. They not really confident in either one of them. At least I don't feel like they are. And then on top of that, like, what's your defense gonna look like? Cause you bringing all these 5-star defensive linemen and all that, but if you rely on all these freshmen to come in and start right away, you're gonna be in trouble in the SEC, dog. You're gonna be in trouble.
They did get a bunch of good 5-star defensive linemen, but they, like you say, they true freshmen. So they gonna, a couple of them might come in and do good right away. But when you got a true freshman defensive lineman up against a veteran offensive lineman, he ain't gonna have too much success.
And that's pretty much all you gonna see in the SEC is 3 and 4 year starters on the offensive line.
Yeah, it ain't high school no more. You coming straight from pushing the high schooler around to them big boys who know how to move you.
Right. So I look for A&M to be a real problem next year and the year after that, not this year. To me, the biggest sleeper team in the West is Arkansas and Ole Miss. I like Arkansas really because they got their same quarterback back. They got the same running backs. Only person they really missing on their offense is Traylon Burks. And don't get me wrong, he was amazing. But if you only missing one person, like, you can find ways to scheme around one person being gone. And their defense is pretty much all back. Now, their defense is going to have to improve, though. That 3-3-5, it worked good against passing teams. But when they played a team like Georgia and Alabama, they can get in that box and smash mouth. It was over with. I can't hear nothing you saying.
Yeah. About Ole Miss, I don't think Ole Miss I don't think they're gonna be as good as they was last year because they lost too much on defense.
Yeah, they lost a lot.
If you go back and look at who they lost on defense, they lost too much on defense. As far as who the other team you said?
Arkansas.
Now Arkansas, I feel like they pose a threat now. Arkansas, they done got better and better the past couple years.
And they bring in two big receivers on the outside, and Jaden Hazelwood and Matt Landers.
They lost Traylon Burks, and that was one of his main deep threats. We got him the most.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. But they bring in Jalen Hazelwood, from Oklahoma. When he came out of high school, he was the number one receiver in the country and the number one overall recruit. Matter of fact, he's from Georgia. He went to Cedar Grove. He was committed to Georgia and then decommitted from Georgia and went to Oklahoma. And it's funny because he was talking about basically he went to Oklahoma because they passed the ball a lot more than Georgia did.
And that's the same reason y'all lost Trey Burke to us.
You mean Jermaine Burton?
Jermaine Burton to us.
Jermaine Burton is just not a number one receiver for real. Not in the pro style offense like Georgia run.
Exactly.
I mean, that's cool. That's fine. It's also the same dude that played at three different high schools though. So, that's fine. Y'all
number one receiver wasn't even a number one receiver in y'all offense.
George Pickens?
Yeah, and he literally was y'all number one receiver as far as his jersey was number one.
So George Pickens came to Georgia after Jaden Hazelwood decommitted from Georgia, right? Yeah. I don't know the exact timeline, but I know it's around the same time that he committed and Hazelwood decommitted, right? From that point to right now, who do you think made the best decision?
I guess I'm gonna have to say Pickens.
Okay, Hazelwood was ranked number one in their class ahead of Pickens. Said he didn't want to go to Georgia because they don't throw the ball and all this, that, and the third. George Pickens was a second-round pick after not playing pretty much the entire season after coming back from an ACL tear. And you telling me he wasn't a number one receiver? Come on now. Come on, dog.
I mean, them rankings, goddamn, you know how them rankings is. They look good when you first coming into college, but you have 3 stars that hit the field before a 5-star recruit that they ain't, where they need to be.
I mean, that's true. Both of them were 5 stars.
Just because you come out of high school as a 5-star, that don't mean you're gonna have that same success at the next level.
That's true, but I believe had Hazelwood stayed committed and went to Georgia, he would be right there where George Pickens is now. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. All that due to if he stayed healthy and all that, but it ain't like George Pickens was out here catching 100 passes a year. You know what I mean? Like, we don't pass the ball that much as he say, y'all don't really throw the ball. Well, he was at Oklahoma where all they do is throw the ball and his number still ain't that. So, what's the problem? Is it a system or is it you?
And it depends on how many targets. You gotta look at how many targets he get. Just cause they throw the ball a lot, if they ain't throwing it his way, then
So you had to ask yourself, why not? Why not? Why didn't you start as a freshman?
that's just like Jameson Williams coming to us.
Because you can't get off the bench at Ohio State.
Yeah, Chris Olave and some other dude that was in front of him.
Man, it was too many in front of him. Like, and I ain't even no slight to him, but like playing receiver at Ohio State the last couple of years, like playing running back at Georgia. Like, if you're looking to get 1,000 yards, that's the wrong place for you to be. Like, you're not gonna get enough touches to get 1,000 yards because it's gonna be it's too many people in the rotation. Like, it just is what it is, man. They had like 2 receivers go pro, then 2 receivers go pro. Now they got 3 or 4 more projected to go pro right now.
Who Ohio State?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Jameson Williams went. Well, I think he was the second receiver taken.
Something like that.
Yeah, Chris Olave was the first, and then Jameson Williams was the second one taken. And what's crazy is the dude that was starting in front of him at Ohio State didn't even get drafted before him.
Yeah, that is crazy. And he was healthy. I understand that. And that ain't nothing against Jameson Williams. It's just I expect the dude to be the first receiver off the board because everybody had him as the first receiver off the board. Like, everybody.
Yeah, he was like the third or fourth?
Third or fourth. And I was like, that kind of surprised me.
Yeah, so I mean, but now they trying to say, I don't know if they gonna pass it, but they saying they trying to make it to where college players can transfer however many times they want to and be eligible to play immediately.
Yeah, man, they finna really make this thing free agency, like 100% free agency.
Yeah, pretty much.
I ain't gonna count though, bro. I don't like that. I'm gonna be real. I don't like it.
I don't either, cause it's like, okay, you go to one school, you go there for a year, you don't start, you don't like it, so you go to another school. Okay, you go there for a year, you don't like it, so you transfer to another school. Really, they gonna end up hurting themselves because they ain't gonna be able to sit nowhere long enough to build no stats. And then the NFL team is gonna look at it like, okay, so if he come here, things don't go his way, he gonna quit on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Not saying he can't leave, but he gonna quit on the team. He ain't gonna have the work ethic. I want to put in the work.
That's what I was saying about Jermaine Burton. See, Jermaine Burton transferred to 3 different high schools in 4 years. And I looked at it like, okay, so was he moving around? So I'm like, nah, he was staying in the same place all 3 years. He just wanted to get in a situation he felt like was best for him, which is cool. But because I know that, I didn't expect you to stay at Georgia. Like, I'm surprised you committed to Georgia to begin with, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, him leaving Georgia is like, okay, that's your character. That's what you do anyway. You know what I mean? You feel like this ain't the best situation for you, or maybe the grass green over there, I'm gone. Kevin Durant, another one. KD played at 4 different high schools in 4 years of in 4 years.
Yeah, it paid off for him.
I mean, yeah, but no. Like, it didn't matter because he was Kevin Durant. I put it this way. If the college structure was different, a lot of the schools that recruited him wouldn't have recruited him. Like, if it was like it was back in the day where you had to stay in school 2-3 years before you came out, a lot of them schools wouldn't have recruited him because they'd have been like, okay, he's going to come here 1 year and then leave and then go somewhere else and then might leave from there, might stay, right, whatever. So why would I waste my time on him, even though he's a great talent? But if you're not going to be here, what am I doing?
Yeah. And then back to what you said earlier, as far as like those teams trying to come to the SEC, I don't want no other teams after Texas and Oklahoma. I don't even want them, but I don't want no more teams in the SEC because it's gonna get bored because it's just gonna be basically like 2 or 3 major conferences, and that's who all the hype gonna be around.
It's just gonna be
about
two.
like that now.
I'm just saying, it's really just two. It's gonna be the SEC, it's gonna be the SEC, then the Big Ten, then everybody else. Like, that's all it is now. It's the SEC is the best conference. It ain't even close. And then it's the Big Ten, and then everybody else.
And then you think about this. Let's just say Miami and Florida State which they pretty much at the bottom of their conferences already.
Not really.
If Miami played North Carolina State, I'm picking North Carolina State. If Florida State played North Carolina State,
So Pete though.
I take North Carolina Tar Heels over both of them too.
Boy, stop. I take Miami over North Carolina and NC State. But the NC State game gonna be a good one. See, NC State is a sleeper pick in the SEC. I ain't gonna say a sleeper pick, but
you mean that?
Yeah, in the ACC. But like NC State is the second best team in the conference. Like, they the team that can beat Clemson, like straight up.
Exactly.
But that's the only one though, and that don't happen all the time.
It don't. But you got what's called too now. They I ain't gonna say they can just they can straight up just beat Clemson, but if the chips fall right, Louisville.
No, Louisville is a team that is around the bottom of the conference with Florida State.
Louisville. Well, I can't count last year because Clemson won time. And that was a surprise. I don't know what happened to Clemson that they played like that.
Check this out now. We talking about they weren't talking about that. Them folks went 10-3 last year. They still had probably either the best or one of the best records in the ACC last year. I think
they went 10-3.
Yeah, I think only Pitt probably had a better record than them. I think Pitt went 11-3.
You talking about going on 10-3 in the ACC when ain't nobody over there?
I'm just saying though, they still we saying that they had a bad year and they still had either the best or second best record.
Compared to recent years, that was a terrible year for them last year.
So what does that say about the ACC as a whole? See what I'm saying?
That they trash.
Exactly. You saying that's the whole conference trash?
Yeah, with the exception of Clemson and every other year North Carolina State. Other than that, they ain't talking about nothing.
I mean, I feel you.
All right now.
But look for Miami to start making this climb back though. You know what I'm saying? Mario Cristobal running things and all. I can't speak for nobody else though, because I thought Mack Brown was gonna do better in North Carolina at first.
You thought who?
Mack Brown.
Oh, the old man.
Yeah, he at North Carolina. You know, I don't think he started though, but he was at North Carolina before he went to Texas though. I mean, I don't know exactly how the timeline went his whole career, but I know he started at North Carolina before he was at Texas.
And then he went back to Carolina, right?
Yeah, he had retired for a long time and then went back.
Yeah.
Who else you think gonna be a sleeper team in the SEC though?
Like I said, I think Tennessee. I think South Carolina. It's hard to say in the West. I can't call Texas A&M a sleeper team because everybody expecting them to be a little decent.
That's facts.
So I think that's really about it. The sleeper teams to me is the ones over there in the East, which is South Carolina, Tennessee, and Kentucky. I think they're gonna be the sleeper team. I won't even say it's Florida because I don't know what Florida gonna look like. You know, they got that new head coach, Billy Napier.
I don't know what Florida gonna look like either. I have to actually see them on the field. I ain't too worried about them though, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't be either, not this year.
What you think about Brian Kelly at LSU? How you think that's gonna work out in year one?
In year one, I don't think he's gonna make too much noise. I think it's gonna be about an average LSU team. They probably win about 8 or 9 games.
Okay.
I think they'll win by 8 or 9 games. I don't really know what they're gonna look like because I don't know who all they got over there. You know what I'm saying? Who coming back or what have you?
Yeah, they got a lot of roster turnover. I said this about Brian Kelly though. I was like, Brian Kelly coming to LSU doesn't scare me at all. And my justification for that was he a good coach. But so is almost everybody else in the SEC. Because that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't too many bad coaches. Because they don't stay around too long.
Exactly. So let me ask you this then.
What's that?
Would you say Vanderbilt head coach is a bad coach, or is he had a bad program?
Both.
Cause they went 0-9, I think 2020, and then last year they went 0-8, and this in conference play now. In conference play, they went 0-8, 0-9 in 2020. That year, SEC only played the SEC, and to be honest, I liked that. I liked that schedule with the SEC only playing the SEC. And then in 2021, they went 0-8 in a conference play. So
I ain't like the only SEC schedule because I like the crossover games at the end of the year. Like, you know, rivalry week is Georgia Tech, Florida State, Clemson, South Carolina, Kentucky, Louisville. Like, you missed all of them. That might not mean nothing to some people. It mean a lot to them schools, though. You know what I mean? It'd have been like not having the Iron Bowl or the Egg Bowl.
So you wouldn't like a all conference schedule except for that one exception when it comes time to play the rival games. That's your one out of conference game.
Yes and no.
Which all our rivals is in the dang on besides Clemson, but that's not a
Clemson is not rival. It's not a rival.
Yeah, it's not an annual rival. But
like, when
they play each other, it's a big game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I wouldn't consider that a rivalry though. Like a rivalry.
No, I'm not saying it's a rivalry. I'm just saying it's a big game when they play each other.
True.
But our true rivals, all of them is in the SEC, and our biggest rival is really Tennessee.
I would say really ain't, but Tennessee and Auburn. That's it.
Yeah, a lot of people would think that the Auburn is a bigger rival, but it's actually Tennessee.
No, Auburn's still the biggest rivalry.
As far as us and what we prefer, but as far as the school itself, Tennessee is a bigger rival than Auburn.
That's only because Auburn, y'all quit playing Auburn back in the day because Auburn was spanking it behind, and y'all got tired of it. Y'all got scared and quit playing them folks. But that was way before you were born. That before my time. I'm talking about what have you done lately? They still been putting foot. What you mean? Hold on now. Auburn got more wins. Auburn has more wins against Nick Saban in the Nick Saban era than they do against Georgia.
Yeah, it's a rival game. That rivalry, all that record and rankings and all that's out the window. Except for when it comes to Georgia Tech and Georgia.
So Drake, who's Georgia's biggest rival?
Georgia's biggest rival?
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, is Florida. Who are they three biggest rivals?
Florida, South Carolina, and Clemson.
No.
No. Florida, South Carolina, and Auburn.
Florida, Auburn, Georgia Tech.
Man, Georgia Tech. I don't even consider that a rival no more.
You have to.
That's just like That's just like Georgia Southern playing Savannah State every year.
No, because Savannah State ain't got no wins. Tech got a win. It ain't been that long ago.
Man, Tech ain't beat Georgia since it might have been right after or right before them Ogletree brothers left.
Man, Kirby Smart got a loss to Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech beat y'all?
Georgia Tech beat Kirby Smart since he been there.
Oh, I don't remember that loss.
Man, I'm telling you, bro, them rivalry games, it matter that much. Like, Georgia Tech had no business
that must
in
have been
that
his
game.
first year there. That had to be his first year though. Because his second year, that was whenever they went to the playoffs.
I think it was his third year though. I think it was his third year. Right after that, they went to the championship game. They lost to Tech.
What year that was? Y'all lost to Vanderbilt. Mark Richt last year or Kirby first year?
That was Kirby first year.
When Vanderbilt came to Georgia and spanked y'all.
Spanked is a strong word, but they got the win though. That was Kirby first year though. Yeah. It was real shaky that first year. I ain't gonna lie to you. He had done already made the decision that he was gonna just bench Grayson Lambert and start Jacob Eason. And he did that in the first game, and I'm like, dog, what are you seeing that I ain't seen? Because I don't see. I hope you're right. He was wrong. He was dead wrong.
No, I thought that was Mark Richt last year when y'all lost to Vandy. Cause y'all first year there, I thought that's the year y'all still had Sonny Michel, Nick Chubb, and all them. Y'all went to the championship game against us. That was Kirby first year, ain't it?
Nope, that was his second year.
Oh, okay.
His first year is when they opened the season up against North Carolina, and Chubb was just coming back out the injury.
Okay, the one he got hurt in Tennessee.
Yeah. See, we
Pop that knee.
That was Mark Richt last season.
Oh, okay, then.
Yeah, man. But bro, we didn't keep these folks a long time, bro. We working on 45 minutes in right now, my God.
Yeah, man, we can go on and wrap it up, man.
All right, man. So y'all already know, Georgia, Alabama, the favorites. We looking for both of them to be in Atlanta in the SEC championship game. If they're not there, it's gonna be a disappointment. It's simple as that. Let's see. Arch Manning still getting headlines. He done got dropped from number 1 to number 2. What else we need to speak on? Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban both copping pleas at SEC Media Days. The ACC is falling apart right before our eyes.
They doing that for the media. Both of them secretly, both of them got that game circled.
Facts.
They don't care if they lose every other game. That's the game they both want to win the most.
Man, listen, bro. Them folks got up there and act like they were just the best of friends, and I'm like, ooh, y'all capping.
Yeah, especially Jimbo, because he had an interview saying Nick Saban been calling, he ain't answering the phone. He don't want to talk. Y'all see who he is. Then he go back up there on media day and say they still cool. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no problem. They done squashed it.
Well, they had a meeting in Destin, Florida, though, the SEC coaches meeting and all that. That happened, I think, last month. So
yeah,
but they didn't have to see each other.
They say they didn't speak to each other though.
It sounds good. It sounds good because who else was in the room besides the coaches and the commissioners?
Yeah.
You feel me? So they had to speak. It just wasn't for the media.
I can believe that.
But like you said, man, even if they both at home, like, I can't stand them, they're not gonna tell that to everybody else. They ain't gonna let the public know that.
Nah, Jimbo let a little bit of it out though when he was ranting when it first started out. He let a little bit of it out now.
Hey man,
how he really feel.
Both of them say how they really feel. Both of them sounded salty.
I mean, yeah.
But we're gonna see.
We're gonna see, man. October the 8th. I'm pretty sure everybody gonna tune into that game.
I'm not.
I'm taking all bets. I'm gonna say it now. I'm taking all bets on that game.
I'm gonna be somewhere sleep. My feet up. You feel me? Relax.
No, I ain't gonna let you get on here and cap to the fans now, man. You don't have this discussion.
Hold on. I'm gonna be watching. I don't care where I'm at. If I'm at work, I'm gonna still find a way. I'm gonna make it happen.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a hey, what Lane Kiffin said last year when they got thumped. Bring your popcorn.
Man, Lane Kiffin disappointed. Lane Kiffin lost that game before the game ever started.
Yeah, he went in there with the wrong game plan. You going for it on 4th down every time? That's stupid.
I'm saying he just went there and
like that. You can't. Alabama ain't the team you can afford to keep going for it on 4th down and not getting it like that.
Man, you can't afford to do that on no decent team, let alone one of the best in the country.
Yeah. But, like you said, we done been on here for 45 minutes, man. We're gonna wrap it up, man.
All right, man. See y'all next week. I appreciate y'all. You feel me? Like, share, subscribe, comment, follow us on social media. All the links gonna be in the description. Till next time, man. Y'all be easy.
Yeah, man. Roll Tide.
Go Dog.